when Google acquired Motorola, Android had about 40% global share. And so the war was not by any means won. And there was a lot going on, but Motorola had both a handset division and a set of intellectual property that Google didn't have. And all of the other Android OEMs were being sued at the time, and you'll remember, by Microsoft and Apple and others. And so by acquiring Motorola, you got both the handset business, but you also got the intellectual property, which provided some level of protection for Android and allowed it to flourish. It's hard. So we acquired a company that had lost, I want to say, $1 billion a year for the prior 5 years. And there had been this massive shift in computing in mobile from feature phones to smartphones, which meant you needed to understand a whole new set of things around software engineering, around systems development. Marketing became more important, and Motorola missed that shift. So they were starting a bit from behind. They had a very visionary CEO who said, we're going to burn the ships and go to Android, and was one of the first OEMs to go to Android, Sanjay Jha. And so that gave the company breathing room. But it was still going to be hard against a Samsung or an Apple, who were off to the races at that point. So our job was to try to compete in this new smartphone world by winnowing down the number of products that the company was shipping and try to build a couple of brands that were lasting and global. And we shipped a product called Moto X, and we made it very simple. We had good, better, best. X was the high end, G was in the middle, and E was at the low end. But our job really was to get Motorola back to a growing business. Google made the decision that it was, because it was supporting Android, which a number of hardware OEMs were using, like I want to say over 100, it was not going to advantage Motorola. So we were run completely independently. Our employees weren't Google employees. The only support we got was financial. We didn't have any access to code or anything like that, which made it very hard because we didn't have any structural advantage in a market where you needed size and scale, or you needed access to like the ability to build your own screens or own batteries. And you had to concentrate your best resources on fewer things, and then you had to put the marketing behind it and put the distribution muscle behind it. We spun up a team that was focused on kind of new innovation, which wound up building the first Android watch, and now Android in the watch space is doing all right, but obviously Apple is doing quite well there. And ultimately we got enough growth back into we shipped Moto G, which was the best selling smartphone that Motorola had ever shipped, and then eventually we sold the company.